white-haired gardener here. Today we're going to talk about one of the most evil scourges that you're going to find in the garden is the Japanese beetle. Now these are small beetles. They were actually introduced to the United States. Let me see if I can get this nasty thing over so you can see its back. Introduced to the United States around the early 1900s, and actually they're rather an attractive little beetle with a metallic sheen, and if they weren't so destructive, they wouldn't be so bad. But these things will eat over 300 different types of plants. They started over in New York, that area, and they have been moving steadily across the United States since. They will pretty well eat anything, and as you can see, I mean, they'll pretty well destroy anything that they touch. If you can see the light through this, this is evidence of Japanese beetle infestation. They will eat all the spaces between the veins of the leaves, leaving a skeleton appearance. Once you get, if a plant gets hit too hard with this, pretty soon your plant won't be able to, I guess it's called photosynthesize. They won't have any nutrients and your plant will die. Now, there are a few ways to get rid of Japanese beetles. One is to poison them. Now, I don't do that. There are too many beneficial insects, birds that eat the insects, humans that eat the plants, all of that. And that's just a bad way to go, at least in my opinion. If you want to poison, you go right ahead. The other ways, there is one way. People have what's called pheromone traps for Japanese beetles. The only problem with those is, yeah, they attract the beetles to the trap, but if you put your trap out in the garden, it will also attract the beetles to the garden, and on their way to the trap, they will eat all of your food. So I don't really recommend those unless you can put one, let's say, a quarter mile away or something like that, and try to attract them like that. Another way that, or at least the way that I use, is very simple, time-consuming, but simple and somewhat satisfying. You'll see the beetles floating around, especially during the afternoon, on leaves, like this, and they'll just be sitting there. Now, the Japanese beetle mode of defense is, if it's being attacked, all they do is they let go of the leaf and they drop. So if you have a handy-dandy soapy, I'm going to say soapy water-filled glass, put it under the beetle, tap the leaf, and then they just drop right into the cup. Now this is kind of gross, but I have a cup right now with a ton of beetles in it. It's very easy, and if you go out, I'm going to say daily, maybe morning, afternoon, if you have the time to do this, I'd say after a couple of weeks, you will notice a great drastic drop in the Japanese beetle population. You won't get them all, but you'll get quite enough, and enough that your plants won't be so harmed. Now, something else I heard that was kind of neat, and I think I'm going to try this, and I may let you guys know how that goes. I read that begonia flowers and begonia plants, Japanese beetles really love them. And I'm going to get a begonia, and what they do is when they eat the begonia leaves, it kind of makes them dizzy and they fall over, and they stay that way for almost 24 hours. Well, if we have little dizzy Japanese beetles just laying there, simple matter to pick them up, feed them to the chickens, or just, bag them up, throw them away. So right now, those are my two favorite ways to take care of Japanese beetles, but the best thing to do is when you see a Japanese beetle, there's already more of them. So, keep an eye on this and look for the telltale skeletonized leaves. So other than that, that's all I've got for right now. If you have any questions, please ask questions in the comments. Feel free, and I can answer anything that I could possibly, if I have the answer, I will do so. Don't forget, please subscribe and let us know how you like this video, and looking forward to seeing you next time.